And then what I do is I kind of fluff it, and I walk by every 15, 20 minutes, and I fluff it. And I'll let it air out for a good couple hours. The drier it is, the better off and the better consistency you're going to have. Now the fun part starts. We are going to add the other ingredients that we need here. Now, if I could use that one guy's voice. I'm going to take the lemon, the one guy from the one cooking show. Take the lemon, add some cracks of pepper. I couldn't understand a word he said either. We're going to add the lemon in here. This is going to be our juice. We're not going to use any vinegar. We're going to use lemon. Now, how do you want to do it is on you. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways of getting lemon out of a lemon. And if I had a fork, I could show you how. But if you have a fork and you stick it in and you twist it around, you get the lemon juice out, and you can squeeze it without the seeds. But these are supposed to be seedless lemons. We'll see when somebody chokes on my tabbouleh over here. And when you're doing this, remember the portions aren't. They don't measure up to how much you want. What you want to do is add the flavors that you like, and there's not a limit. So if you like your things really tarty, you can add a whole lemon, but these are pretty big. I don't want to use the whole thing because I got other people that are going to eat it, and I'm sure they're going to be pretty mad if that happens. So I want them to enjoy it. Give that a couple spins, high and low. And then what I'll do with that is I'll add some of the ingredients that I like. Of course, MSG. I don't care what anybody says about it. Your arteries explode or they don't. It doesn't matter. This stuff wakes up flavor, baby. So I'll put a couple little splashes in there. Pow, pow, pow. Thanks, Em. And then celery seed. Very potent. This is like the stuff, you know. If we're talking in terms of celery, this is the ganj of all the celery flavor there is. It's the celery seed. It's very concentrated, very pungent. If you eat too much of it, you could numb your tongue up. Also, a little bit of salt, okay? Just a tad. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil. Doesn't matter what kind you get as long as it's extra and it's virgin. That makes it taste a lot better. Yep. Dabble some in, drizzle some in, till it covers the top of the lemon. You're making your sauce. Also, now what I like to do, break up the feta cheese, and to give a little texture in there, bang, just like that. That smells so good. Fetas are different. There's quite a few different types of feta. If you like pungent feta, like you're biting into the goat, get the stuff from Bulgaria. That'll turn you right on. I'm telling you. Bulgarian feta, it should be walking. This is regular Greek feta, and it's not too pungent, but it does still have the flavor. That's what we like, is flavor over there. Now, you see how I'm adding these ingredients up here. I want to throw the onion in here as well, but what I want to do is I'm going to drop this into the mixture already. And as that's having some happy thoughts there and it's flavoring up that parsley, we're going to go ahead and cut these onions up. And the chives, see, if you notice, I got a whole onion in and probably 3 or 4 chives or, green onions, what we call it. Back where I come from over here, it's Onionville. All right, give that a quick spin. You don't want to mash them up or cut them up too much. What you want to do is be able to keep the consistency, though you can see the onions, and you're going to taste them when you bite into it, too. Because if you make it like butter, I don't know if anybody really likes to eat butter onions, but you got to have a little bit of a texture and a little bit of substance to it. We're going to take that out. Wow, did you see that? Mom, all those ballet lessons paid off when I was a kid. I'm going to add all of that to it, and that's a beautiful thing. Looking good. Oh yeah, babe. Here we go. Now, tomatoes, got to have them. Why? Because they're high in vitamin C. And we grow them in the garden. That's a beautiful thing as well. How many people out there are getting gardens and they're trying, oh, here we go. I think I got a little problem here, a little malfunction. But I'll get it fixed. Otherwise, my name isn't Emerald. Oh, wait, it is an Emerald. It is. Dave Walters, and we're here at Earthy Kitchen. Well, as Beth was saying, when you're pulling out fresh garden greens and fresh garden tomatoes, there's nothing that tastes better. Absolutely nothing that tastes better. If you guys can get a shot of this right here and see how it looks into the mirror, if you can see how that looks, that's basically what the mixture looks like to start. Well, we're going to take this with the hummus on there, and we're going to mix it up a little bit. And you know what? I still think we can use a little more olive oil. Can't ever have too much olive oil. It brings all the flavors together. It kind of melts them, marries them all, and they actually good combination. And you'll never see anything get soggy if you follow this procedure. The way that I cut it up and the way that you dry it, it all works out well. Garlic's a very important thing to have. I've got it right here. This is what we're going to do with the hummus. I'm only going to use a small example because it does take a long time. We're going to put the juice from a quarter can, and we're going to grind up the hummus. The hummus takes olive oil as well. Now, what I like to do with hummus is eat it, first of all. I like to use the ground cumin because it gives that Middle Eastern flavor. It wakes it up a little bit, and actually it goes good with the chickpeas. The only thing I'm lacking in the hummus is some tahini. I don't have any, so I didn't want to put any in there. And, of course, this is a little bit of the other extra seasonings I want to put on here for right now. This is a little celery salt, or celery seed, celery salt, and a little bit of pepper in there to let it sit on the top. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give this a whip. And if you see what I have here, what I have going on here, I've made some pita bread and in pie pieces. There we go. It's whipping up. Now, this consistency that I'm doing right now, this is a little bit thinner because I'm going to add something else. If I can get my beautiful assistant to hand me the piece from the kitchen. Thank you very much. Doris, you're wonderful. That's what it's supposed to look like right there. But what I want to do is add this to it because we're going to thicken this other one up. And then I'm going to show you what to add to it to make it even better. And that is what every Romanian knows. The only thing you really need to survive is garlic, okay? We're going to try a little bit, put 2 pieces in, 2 to 3 pieces, depending on who you want to scare away, okay? Depending on if you're going out on a date and you're kissing anybody or not. Who knows? Very interesting how this stuff does soak up. And if you let it soak up the flavors that are in there and marry it for a little while, probably an hour or 2, you put it in the refrigerator, it comes out, everything's locked right in there. So any bite that you take is guaranteed garlic. Now, what I'm going to do here is, hey, did you guys take a look at this? Look at this doggone. Now that looks like a pumpkin. That does not look like a pepper, but I can't wait to get into that. Maybe the next show we'll do a pizza. Or as Julia Childs will say, oh, that looks good enough to eat right now, darling. This is the texture right here that we're looking for, okay? And I'm going to pull this right out. As I'm yanking on it, that's what you want. If it's giving you some resistance, then it's the right texture. And then when the people go, you know it's doggone good. What I'm going to do is spoon it out. Oh, man, can you smell that garlic? Whew. I'm sure if you had smell-o-vision, like my buddy Emerald says, you'd be right there. Now, what I want to do is break up the rest of the feta with the hands. Of course, I wash them. And it leaves bigger chunks into the tabbouleh, like that. Give it a little mix. And what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to eat this stuff. That is what you can get out of your garden right there. Tabbouleh and the hummus, but not spoons. What we're going to do is have these guys come over and try a little bit of this, but before they do, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. If it doesn't work for me, nothing will. So from Earth to Kitchen, my name is Dave Walters, and on behalf of Beth, I want to thank her. You guys want to come on in? Look what we got over here. I don't know if it's actually your flavor, but that is good.
Let's see what Mr. Dave.
Very, very good. Tabbouleh and the hummus. It's just that simple, just that quick. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on Earth the Kitchen. Thanks, Beth. Good job growing that stuff, man. Good job. You guys did good too. Did you wash your hands? All right. Give me a high five. Come on, get everybody else.